Today, companies are more conscious than ever of their social and environmental responsibility. And this is even driven by consumers, especially since many consumers are willing to pay more for whatever it is that they are buying, if it means that workers who make such things are paid a living wage and the environment is being respected in the production process. But even with all that, you still need to remember that at the core of any business is profit. Because if you're not making profit and you're saying you're in business, then you're not going to be in that business for a very long time. So profit still remains to be the core thing in business, right? How do you do this in a context where it would seem that profit makes more sense than purpose? I mean, how do you still balance, okay? How do you balance your social responsibility and environmental responsibility or awareness in a situation where you're supposed to be profit driven? By focusing on the triple bottom line. That's how you do it. Okay, just a quick one. If you haven't subscribed, kindly do, okay? And if you find this video interesting, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check the video description, okay? I've added a lot of links to resources that are going to help you in your supply chain or procurement related profession. Now let's move on. What is the triple bottom line? The triple bottom line is a phrase that was coined by John Elkington, a British management consultant and sustainability guru. The whole point was to show that there is a way, okay? There are ways in which companies can still manage to focus on profit, but also take care of their workers or the people's well-being, as well as the well-being of the planet. So the three things, right? Hence the three P's, that is profit, people, planet. And so as a business concept, the triple bottom line states that in pursuit of sustainability, companies are supposed to commit to measuring their social and environmental impact just as much as their financial performance, rather than solely focusing on generating profit or standard bottom line. And so far we know what the three P's stand for, right? Profit, people, planet. But how do we put that together in a practical business context? Now in this case, let's assume that we are running a business or we are starting a business. Let's assume it's a beverage business, okay? So yeah, let's assume that. Start with the profit. The profit in this case, or the profit as far as the triple bottom line is concerned, can also be referred to as the economic bottom line. And if you're running a business, you definitely know that the first way that you're going to measure the success of that business is by looking at how much profit it's making, because this way your shareholders are happy, okay? Because the share price has gone up and the dividends are also increasing. Plus, it kind of shows that the business is sustainable. But then you still have the concept of sustainability, which means you don't just make profit by any means. And that is interesting because the backlash from that, I mean, if you think that I'm just going to make profit by any means, the backlash from that can be something that you cannot come back from, okay? I mean, think about a company that decides to just cut down trees, okay? So that they can sell charcoal or something. I mean, yes, you'll make money, but that is going to be short-term lived because the environmentalists are going to be on your neck. And the same goes for companies that will, say, use child labor, you know, those modern slavery contracts and things of that nature. So it's not just profit by any means. So you always have to think, yes, in as much as you want to make profit, there are these two other things that you need to worry about. So yes, in the case of our beverage business, profit can mean focusing on reducing costs through efficient operation and strategic sourcing of raw materials. And so when you're sourcing for materials, you're going to have to take a lot of time, okay, to analyze your upstream operations, your suppliers, okay, what are they doing that could become, you know, could put you in a risky situation. Because as far as your downstream operations are concerned, your customers and their customers, for these people, if there is a problem, and generally not just those people alone, the stakeholders, okay? If there is a problem, and that problem has been pinpointed from your product, they're not going to take time to think that maybe it was the supplier and the supplier who caused it. As far as they're concerned, it's your product, and therefore you're the one who did that, okay? I mean, there are some kids who are making these shoes, and so let's stop buying the shoes. Okay? It doesn't matter that you imported the shoes and you're just some retail guy. They don't care about that. So That's why you really need to look at your supply chain to ensure that in as much as you're trying to make profit, things are going according to, according to ethics. The extra measures are obviously going to cost the business, hence it could be necessary to implement pricing strategies that reflect the value customers place on sustainability, allowing the business to capture a market willing to pay a premium for eco-friendly products. And the next P is people. So as a second component of the triple bottom line, this can also be referred to as the social bottom line. People relates to socially responsible corporate awareness and behavior, both internally and in the wider community. And this is where you really need to learn the distinction between shareholders and stakeholders. Of course, yes, shareholders are stakeholders, but not all stakeholders are shareholders. The point is, a stakeholder is anybody who's likely to be affected or to affect your business operations or any business activity that you're undertaking. The people it's likely to affect or the people who are likely to affect that. Those people become stakeholders. And the reason why you need to factor in stakeholders is because they can make decisions. And those decisions may not really sit well with your business, like rioting, boycotts, okay, all that stuff. Now, when you're talking about people as part of the triple bottom line, so in this case, ensure workers receive a fair wage in a safe environment that encourages professional development, ensuring a diverse set of suppliers are used, and prioritizing small businesses when appropriate. 3, ensuring customers have fair access to products and their feedback regarding equity or safety are considered. And since we're using the example of a beverage business in this case, so in terms of ingredients, the ingredients that you're going to be using when you're making your products, or in this case, our products, okay, the business can source locally whenever possible, supporting local farmers and communities and fostering economic development in those regions. So that's profit, okay, and people as part of the triple bottom line, which means you still have one more. Planet. In this case, we're talking about environmental bottom line. The issue of the planet, okay, as part of the triple bottom line, does present a challenge to businesses because it will mean that the business has to make a choice. And that choice can be between a lower cost option or a more environmentally friendly alternative. And in terms of input, okay, in terms of inputs, because you have inputs, process, and then outputs as part of your, so that can actually mean having to choose between an eco-friendly way of transporting something, okay, which is going to be slower in most cases and even costly, or going with a plane, which is obviously going to be faster, but then you have to deal with the issue of polluting the environment. And so these are tough choices that businesses have to make when it comes to the environmental capital, okay? Truth is, reporting a company's positive change to the planet is difficult. It is often much easier to assess the impacts of the alternative chosen by the company. Meaning what? Meaning if you're trying to figure out what impact you have on the planet, that can be a problem. But a way around this will be, let's say we decide to redesign our supply chain, okay? Such that the entire supply chain process that we are using is using less energy than before. Like how you get something from the supplier to the other supplier to us to customer, okay, downstream operation to distributors and all that. So if you ensure that that process is using less energy, like you're spending less energy in the process, then you might say that, yep, we've reduced our CO2 emission by, whatever. So in that case, it becomes easier to measure your impact as far as the planet is concerned. Such an activity would be reported as saving a certain amount of greenhouse emissions. So that is the thing with the triple bottom line, profit, people, planet, okay? And if you do enjoy that video, here's another one that you may want to check out. See you in the next video.